Paul McGinley, the county of Clare, 127 years of Lahinch and a first Irish Open in this beautiful part of the world. So exciting.
Yeah, it is. It is to bring a big major event like this away from the capital cities and down into the sleepy southwest of Ireland and right on the shores of the Atlantic. I think we're set up for a great week. You know, the local community have embraced it brilliantly. There's big crowds forecast and hopefully sellouts at the weekend. And I think a lot of things are in line now to hopefully everybody's going to have a great week.
1991, South of Ireland, Paul McGinley, the champion. What are your memories?
My memories are normally when you get to a final, the kind of guys are tired and the standard drops off a bit. You don't have to play great in a final to win. I was involved in a number of finals, and I remember that one. I played one against Darren up in Port Rush, shot 66 and lost. And then I came down here and I played Philip Johnson. I think I shot 65 and won, and only won one up. He was an Australian player. It was great golf, very high caliber in the final. And it was important for me because that kind of solidified my place in the Walker Cup team that year in 1991, which was played in Portmarnock, and it was also validation in my own mind to have a go at being a professional.
What are the characteristics of Lahinch as a golf course, Paul? Because it's revered, but why?
I think it's the green complexes more than anything. First of all, it's beautiful, aesthetically beautiful. Looking out over the Atlantic Ocean, it's just stunning. And secondly are the green complexes, and it's not just the greens, it's the runoffs around the greens, the runoff areas, the bunkering, how the greens sit in among the dunes. You know, Alistair Mackenzie had a big say in the original design of this golf course, and he did he did Cypress Point, he did Augusta National. Again, both courses that are synonymous with lots of rollings on the greens and movement on the greens, and Lahinch is no different. I think it's a golf course that requires a lot of good shot making skills in order to hold the ball on these greens and use the slopes to access the pins.
As tournament host, you were involved in the project with the Ryder Cup, Paul. You managed the European team successfully as the captain. What has the project been like for Lahinch? How do they differ? How are they similar?
Yeah, they're similar in a lot of ways. You know, I see it as like dominoes. There's a whole set of dominoes, and each one has got a different heading. You know, one is the quality of field, one is the setup of the golf course, one is embracing the local community and trying to get sellout crowds, and preparation in so many different ways, and hopefully you tip those dominoes off, and that's what creates your event. So that sense of project is how I've embraced this Irish Open, just like I've embraced the Ryder Cup a couple of years ago, and when it's over, there's a little bit of a down because that project is over, and you say, "Oh, what's the next project?" But that's how I've approached this one, and I think it's been a real sense of community and a real sense of team spirit in what we've done here. Got some brilliant people to work with, just like I did in the Ryder Cup. You know, particularly in terms of vice captains from an early stage. You know, Sam Torrance and Des Smith were huge in that regard, and down here, Pádraig Slattery, Paddy Keane and John Gleeson, those three in particular have been my big points of contact down here, and their work has been Trojan. So you're only as good as a team around you, and I've been fortunate in both instances to have great teams around me.
No Rory McIlroy this week, Paul. We know the reasons for that, but John Rahm, Tommy Fleetwood, Ian Poulter, Padraig Harrington, Shane Lowry, Louis Westhuizen, stellar field.
Yeah, well done. You're keeping all those names top of your list, top of your tongue. It's great. Yeah, I think so. You know, the DNA now of a golf tournament, no matter where you are, I mean, we've very similar world ranking points to what's on display and what's played from the PGA Tour this week in America, and they have some big players over there, and it shows you the quality and depth of field that we have, and some big names in there as well too, and I'm certainly very proud of the quality of field we have, and thrilled that the players have decided to come here, and hopefully they're not going to be let down by having a week that's going to be very memorable, a golf course that they're going to really enjoy playing, and at the same time, you know, they feel that it does some good preparation for hoping to win a major in a few weeks' time.
When we talk about the Irish Open, a few years ago I think it was on its knees a bit. There was danger it might not, like May, I don't know if it suited it. Now it's just before the Open, as you say. Dubai Duty Free have got involved. You must be very proud that this tournament now is elevated and it's going to places that you'd never maybe go to before, and it's really exciting, and it could be a set out the weekend.
Yeah, I think so, and I think it's proved as well too. It doesn't have to be in the capital city in order to be a success. You know, we've proved that in Ballyliffin last year. We've proved it in Lahinch this week. Big crowds in Ballyliffin, big crowds forecasted again this week, and I think it just shows you that when you go to a community that really wants it, that really embrace it, and you put really good people in place around a tournament on a local level on the ground, that it can be a success. And I think we've proved that here in Lahinch, just like they did in Ballyliffin a couple of years ago.
Finally, Paul McGinley, you're hoping the wind will blow this week at Lahinch.
Yeah, well, I mean, every links golf course needs the wind, doesn't it? And we're forecasting about 15-mile-an-hour wind, which is okay. But what's interesting, and hopefully if it does remain 15, I like it a little bit breezier, but if it's going to remain at 15, the forecast is that it may switch direction. We might even have a full 180 and it goes from the other opposite direction. But even if it veers a little bit, that's going to be good enough, because that'll create puzzles for the players, and different irons off tee boxes, and then driver off a tee box, and the same hole the following day. They're all kind of things that keep players on their toes and bring in course management. That's what makes a great golf tournament, and it also makes the battle in the player's own mind an important one. And a lot of the golf we play nowadays, it's not really about the battle in the mind. It's a physical battle, and I think this one here this week is going to be a real mental battle.
Well, Paul, credit to you for this amazing tournament that you're going to host, and best luck this week.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.